back for the finish. Oh, that's not good. Let's fix the screen here. There we go. 2-2 all around. San Antonio up 3-1 on the Outlaws. Seals up 3-1 on the Steam. Steam saving their season there in Game 4 in extra innings in the 14th. We will see who advances today. Game 1 starters back on the mound. We didn't take a look, so we will now. Jeremy Johnson for New York. Jim Sobieski for Denver. Dave Rodriguez pitching for the Mudcats, going against Dan Sonneville for the money line. Rafael Barrientos for Washington, the rookie, going against Jesus Gonzalez for Port Collins. On the Fire Conference side, we've got Adam Hess pitching for OKC up against John Law. Jabari Alexander pitching for the Seals, and Brian Bartosik on the mound for the Steam. And finally, we've got Miguel Parra pitching for the Herons, going against Antonio Santiago. This guy looks nice, 22 years old. Haven't seen him yet. 200 strikeout season. Here we go. San Diego strikes first. Gary Huber, solo home run in the first. Jerry Heineman singles in 2 for Washington in the first to get the runs going early. Danny Estrada, solo home run bottom half for San Antonio, makes it 1-0 over OKC, and 1-0 Mexico City as Aaron Lineberger hits a solo home run. St. Louis ties it in the first 1-1 on a John Hodges solo home run, and New Orleans takes a 1-0 lead on a Dave Schaefer home run in the second. Fort Collins on the board, making it 2-1, bottom half of the first, and St. Louis with a 3-run homer in the bottom of the first. So they put up a 4 spot there on the Seals after the Seals struck first. And lots of scoring here early for all these teams. The Herons up 2-1 on a 2-run homer by Jan Alice in the second inning. John Smith with a 2-run homer makes it 2-0 for New York, strikes first in that game. Washington extends the lead to 3-1 with a Barkia solo home run, and Denver ties it up 2-2. Gutierrez 2-run homer. Meanwhile, the Seals respond right away in the second inning, tied up 4-4 on a 2-run single by John Ireland, and then a scoring error bringing in Huber. 3-run home run by Fort Collins. Vince Lee puts them on top of Washington in the second, 4-3. Montenegro ground out, and the Herons took a 3-1 lead. OKC puts up 3. Brian Marlin singles in a run, and then Stufflebean doubles in 2, so they now have the lead over San Antonio. San Antonio does get one back in the bottom half of the inning. Enrique Novoa hits a solo home run. Manny Manzo solo home run in the Fort Collins Washington game, giving the Roosters a 5-3 lead now here in the third inning. And Somerville scores to give them a 2-1 lead on the Mudcats. Jesse Harnois singles in a pair, and Miguel Carrillo solo home run gives them the lead over Denver, 3-2 in the fifth. And the Seals get the lead now with a Francisco Gomez solo home run in the fourth. Dave Morgan extending the Fort Collins lead with a solo home run of his own, 6-3 now in that game. Eric Hodges leaves the game with an injury for San Antonio. 2-run homer, Frank Pedroza, and that game flips again. Now Denver leading 4-3 in the fifth. Bases loaded for the Seals, and they get one in on a Mitch Brandt sac fly, and then a Chris Heisey single drives in two more, 7-4 all of a sudden, or drives in one more, 7-4. The Seals extend that lead. Bases still loaded in that game. Three-run home run, Victor Lozano puts San Antonio top 5-3 in the fifth inning. Sac fly by Nate Reed gets one back for Washington. They're now down 6-4 here in the sixth. And William Zoll with a 2-run homer ties the game at 5 in the sixth inning. Third home run of the series for Zoll. Hayakawa solo home run ties the game for the Mudcats 2-2 in the eighth. Split that up. We're actually pretty late here in a lot of these games, and they're close. Soriano singles in two. OKC now on top 7-5 in the sixth inning. Bases loaded, one out for Fort Collins, threatening. OKC adds another on a sac fly. And Fort Collins gets some insurance. Two more on a Manny Manzo single, 8-4. Jameson Stufflebean doubles in Todd, and that game's now 9-5. And Fort Collins gets another. Jimenez triples in two more, 10-4. Pretty comfortable lead there for the Roosters, looking to take that 3-2 series lead. Meanwhile, OKC looking like they might stay alive here with a 4-run lead in the sixth. Looking at these close late games in the ninth, New York trailing by 1, 2 outs remaining, down to their last out now in Korver. The game was going back and forth and silent since the fifth. Melvin Graham doubles in the bottom of the eighth, breaking that tie. And Somerville now up 3-2 as we go to the ninth. In that game, 3 outs remaining for the Mudcats. Steve Korver walks, so tying run on first. We got a pitching change. Myers coming in for Denver. And Huron breaks the tie in the ninth inning with a couple of hits. Meanwhile, Denver finishes it off and takes the 4-3 win. Huron with 3 runs here now in the ninth makes it 6-3 over Mexico City. That game was deadlocked. Washington chipping back here a little bit, but still trailing by 3. Still some time to go in that game. Somerville, meanwhile, holds on and wins with the 8th inning run over the Mudcats, 3-2. OKC well in control here. St. Louis down by 3 with 7 outs left in their season. They need to rally, down 3-1 in the series. Huron, it's a final beats Mexico City. They're going back home with a 3-2 series lead. St. Louis solo home run, Bill Willis single, not a solo home run. Nickerson scores. That makes it 7-5. Victor Lozano, second home run of the game, fourth of the series, gets one on the board for San Antonio, and then another on a wild pitch. So 12-7. They're still down by 5 though. Four-hit game for Fernando Barquia, but in a losing effort so far for the Generals. Mitch Brandt, 2-run homer, pads that lead. That was the closest game we had. Now it's a 4-run game as we go to the 9th, it looks like. Last chance for the Generals. And they get a 2-run homer here by John Hersey, so they're down by 1 all of a sudden. 2 outs remaining. Hyman strikes out swinging, and that's going to leave it up to Reed. Reed walks, so Borjas coming to the plate. Pinch hitter in Benitez. Hector Benitez. Benitez walks, so Boyd at the plate, but Boyd can't get it done, and Fort Collins hangs on in a slugfest, 10-9. Last 3 outs for the Chiles Picantes and the Steam. Steam looking like they're going to be the first team eliminated from the postseason, unless they rally here. So a home run for Estrada, gets one back, second home run of the game. 5 home runs for the Chiles Picantes, but not enough for the 18-hit onslaught. The Outlaws were able to muster. 9-5, Seals win, and they advance to the next round. They're going to face the winner of... Who are they going to face? They're going to face the winner of... They're going to face... I don't know. They're not going to face me. So I think they're going to go in as the 2 seed. Or the 3 seed. So... Finish today. All right, here we go. Denver on the road for the last 2, but they have the 3-2 series lead. Fort Collins finds themselves in the same situation over Washington. So just going to win 2 home games for these teams, New York and Washington, to advance. Somerville, actually, exact same situation. So the home teams in all 3 of these series have some work to do. Meanwhile, the 2 Fire Conference games that are left, San Antonio has the 3-2 lead, and Huron has the 3-2 lead. So Huron's the only home team going into Game 6 and 7 with a series lead. Everybody else, road team, got to win just 1. All right, here we go. Just going to look real quick. Playoff MVP David Ramirez for the Seals. Mexico City strikes first on a ground out. Lionberger comes across 1-0 in the first. Grand slam in the first inning for San Antonio. Mark Green make it 4-0. Looks like maybe back-to-back home runs by Mike High and Manny Manzo. And Fort Collins has a 2-0 lead in the second inning. Meanwhile, Huron ties it up on a Jan Alice single. Brings in Flores in the second, 1-1. New Orleans, 1-0 on top of Somerville. Hayakawa triples in Benash. And Gomez triples in Hayakawa, so 2 triples there for the Mudcats, makes it 2-0. Jorgensen singles in. Lineberger scores for the second time this game. 2-1 now, Mexico City. And a 2-run homer. Jason Blanc makes it 4-0 Fort Collins. 3 home runs quickly in this game already for the Roosters. Bobby Tobin's solo home run makes it 3-1. And Soriano singles in a run, getting the Outlaws on the board. Carlos Valencia, solo home run, 5th home run. Oh no, I'm thinking of the wrong guy. Valencia, 3rd home run here of the series. And a Keith Meager single makes it 4-1 Mexico City, trying to stay alive here. Corredura singles in Pedroza. Denver first to strike in that game, 1-0 in the 5th inning. Washington on the board. Barkia singles in Reed, 4-1 now, and Jim Smith solo home run gets the money line on the board, 2-1. Some kind of record in that game. Another record. Oh, maybe that's it. Wow, Brandon Karen has 13 strikeouts through 5 innings. That's almost the max, dude. That's nuts. You can only do 15, right? And it looks like New Orleans has rallied behind him now. Jamie Font singles, Dave Schaefer singles, Valacio doubles. And that puts the Mudcats up 5-1. Chos Picante's adding on some more. Make it 8-1 in that game, and Fort Collins adding on a 3-run homer by Manny Manzo. More records going down. This is insane. 6 strikeouts, or 6 innings, 15 strikeouts for Brandon Karen here in the postseason. I have to check that out after the game here. Miguel Carrillo singles, tying the game in the 7th inning for New York. So they're not ready to go home yet. It's really the only close game, and it's ahead of all the others because it's a low-scoring game right now. Bottom half we go. William Benash doubles in 2 more for the Mudcats, 8-1 now. Jorge Lopez solo home run makes that a 4-2 game now, bringing that closer. New York breaks the tie. Steve Korber, 2-run homer in the 8th inning with 1 down. They lead 3-1. It looks like that's it for Karen. Nope, Karen's still out there. I'm excited. I want to see this guy get more strikeouts. There's another 16, and that is going to do it. 16 strikeouts in 6.1 innings pitched. Guy had 235 strikeouts this year. No joke. But what a performance. Those must all be postseason records, I'm guessing. So it's not Nick Henson setting the strikeout records here. It's Brandon Karen. Two outs left for the Dynamite here in Game 6, or we're going to have Game 7 in New York. Harvey Bustos led the game with an injury. That's going to do it. New York wins 3-1. home run, OKC, 8-2. Bases loaded for Mexico City, looking for some needed insurance, and they get it. Aaron Leonberger, grand slam. He's been huge this series. 3 for 5 in this game. Triple home run, 4 RBIs, double shy of the cycle, it looks like. And Fort Collins wins 7-1. They wrap that one up, and they wrap up the series. They send Steve home packing, and they advance to the next round. And that's a final in Huron. So that's a Game 7. Mexico City pushing the limits. The best team in the Topaz now going against the 80 and 82 wildcard team that stuck in a Game 7. New Orleans wins their game 8-1 behind the brilliant pitching performance by Karen. And again, we'll speed this up. Just a technicality here, hopefully, in OKC. We're looking at another Game 7. Is that 4 Game 7s? That's pretty sexy. Bases loaded for OKC here. Down 8-3. They got one in on an error. San Antonio closes the door. Make a quick adjustment to the game times since we have so many Game 7s. And then we will roll on. Looks like I got it wrong. Someone else got eliminated. I wasn't counting right. Who else advanced? Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, San Antonio eliminating the Outlaws. So congrats to Daryl on to the second round. It looks like it's up to whoever wins this game. If the Mexico City Luchadores win, they're going to face the Paddlers, and then it'll be the Seals San Antonio. If Huron wins, it'll be Huron versus the Seals, and San Antonio will face the Paddlers. On this side, it'll have to be decided. Let's take a look at the Game 7 starters. We've got Crawford versus Pittman. Crawford, of course, winning back-to-back Pitcher of the Year awards, so a good guy to have on the mound for Mexico City in Game 7. John East going against Mike Shane here. And this guy, of course, two-time Pitcher of the Year awards, although it was a long time ago. He's still a very dangerous pitcher. Frank Vaughn against Pitcher of the Century, Nick Henson, four-time Pitcher of the Year award. So we've got some clear favorite aces in all three of these games. Let's see if those teams come out on top or if, we get a different result. And we're going to roll this one. Not slow roll it, but we're going to keep it at 20 here since it's game 7. I'm going to step away for a second, so good luck to these teams. All right. Russ Pittman leaves the game with an injury for Huron. That's their starter, I believe. That's not good. 5 to 6 weeks. He's done for the postseason if Huron advances. Paulo Corredora singles in Shaw. Denver strikes first in the top of the first, 1-0 here in Game 7. Leonberger doubles, 1 down, man on second. Jorgensen walks, 2 on now. Fly out by Dan Smith. It's going to leave it up to Tobin with runners on the corner, 2 down. And he lines out, so on the bottom of third we go. That's going to remain a scoreless game. Somerville, New Orleans about to get underway as well. Leadoff double in the second for Jose Rosales. He goes to third on a ground out, so New York trying to tie this game up. Jamie Font's 2-run homer takes the lead early for the Mudcats. Ever the great player, Jamie Font's 4 home runs in this series now. And the Mudcats still nobody out now. Jalen Dilworth walks, so they have a lead runner on. Again, John Smith, sac fly for New York, so it does get that run across. That ties the game 1-1 in the second. They have 2 on now with 2 outs. Let's see if they can get more done. Izzy Velasco, 2-run homer in the first, so New Orleans strikes again, and they have a commanding 4-0 lead here early in this game. We're still scoreless in Huron, 0-0 in the 5th inning. Crawford pitching brilliantly, but maybe just a bit more surprising. Russ Pittman, who left the game with an injury, pitched 2 nice innings, and the bullpens picked them up from there. Leadoff runner on for the Herons, Jan Alice, but quick pop out. It's 1 down, all of a sudden 2 down on a double play, it says, but there's still just 2 outs in the inning, and now a fly out. That's a bug. Jamie Fonts, meanwhile, flexing his MVP caliber muscles. 3-run homer in the second inning. That's a 7-0 game, and Somerville looking like they're headed home in the postseason again. Dan Smith, solo home run for Mexico City, and they are on the board first, 1-0 in the 6th inning with Crawford on the mound. Let's see if that's enough. I'm sure if you're a Mexico City fan, you're saying it's not. Let's get more, but they have the early lead. I should say the late lead in the 6th. 2 for 2, 2 homers, 5 RBIs in a Game 7. What a beast. And it's the 3rd inning in that game. Bottom of the 7th we go. It's still 1-0 Mexico City. Crawford's still out there, 6 innings pitched. It's a shame I can't see pitch count from here. Nick Henson, meanwhile, quietly pitching a gem. 11 strikeouts through 5 innings. Obviously, a tie game there as Frank Vaughn up to the challenge on the other side so far as well. Huron ties the game. Danny Preciado doubles in Montenegro, and then Greg Tarver doubles in Preciado. So they get to Crawford, and it is a 2-1 lead as we go to the 8th inning. All of a sudden, Mexico City on the ropes, 6 outs left in their season. Some kind of record in Denver. I'm guessing it's a Nick Henson strikeout fest, 12 strikeouts. Make it 13 strikeouts. Shorts run on second for the Herons, trying to get it in, but Prieto grounds out. So 1-run game as we go to the 9th in Huron, Mexico City, last chance. Wilson pops out quickly. It's going to bring up Bailey. Bailey grounds out. Last out for the Luchadores, and it's a single. But a quick out follows that. So that's going to do it. The Huron Herons advance. They will face the San Diego Seals. Meanwhile, the Oahu Paddlers will host the San Antonio Chiles Picantes. I think with New Orleans advancing here, they are guaranteed. Trying to think. I forget. We'll have to look. Yeah, it looks like the Roosters are going to play the High Rollers, so whoever wins here, the Mudcats are going to play the winner of Denver and New York, most likely, I think. And on third, one out, Gutierrez steals third for Denver. Frank Pedroza grounds out. They get him at home to keep the tie preserved. Great defensive play by New York. And that's going to bring in a pitching change as well. So Michaels in the game. Michaels gives up a single, and it's second and third now, 2 down. Shaw walks, bases loaded for Corredora, who has been a really good. And he walks. And then a Gilbride double clears the bases, so it has all come apart here in the 8th inning for the New York Griffins. It's now 5-1. Denver on top. Chris Stewart singles in another. Big 5-run inning for Denver. Might put the seal on this game. So it looks like the Mudcats are the only team to erase that 3-2 series deficit. We had a lot of teams going to Game 6, and they won both games at home to advance here. Jalen Dilworth leaves the game with an injury. That's not good. New York gets a late run, but they fall 6-2, and that will end Thane's season. It was a good season, but some really strong teams over there in the Ice Conference. And getting Denver in the first round, not ideal. 7 games, though, nothing to be ashamed of. On Denver goes. They'll face the Mudcats. That's going to be another pretty tough matchup, Denver and New Orleans. Look at some MVPs real quick. I've been on mute, but yeah, that's okay. Good sim. Good luck the rest of the way, everybody.